Are Salford residents being taken for a ride? Bus routes continue to be cut, but why are prices still increasing?
New developments for a 5G network are ongoing in Salford, but will they cause health concerns?
And it's Mental Health Awareness Week, so what are we doing about it here in Salford?
A very good afternoon, I'm James Holt.
And I'm Laura Burns.
And welcome to Salford Now.
Police are investigating the shooting at a house in Howard Street in Ordsall. Shots were fired at the house at around 9 p.m. last night. Officers from Greater Manchester's Tactical Aid Unit team are carrying a search of the streets for any evidence.
A 34-year-old woman from Salford has been jailed due to hundreds of abusive 999 calls. Monica Olsinska made malicious phone calls to operators abusing their race and gender. She's been jailed for 12 weeks. And now, bus routes across Salford and Greater Manchester have seen a 75% increase in ticket prices over the past 2 years, despite more cuts to popular routes and longer waiting times. Last night, Better Buses, a local group dedicated to the regeneration of our bus network, gathered in the Manchester Art Gallery to make their voices heard. Rhys Parry reports.
Imagine having to get 2 buses just to get to work in the morning and never knowing if they'll arrive on time. That's the reality for Maria Brabiner from Salford. She thinks it should be easier for local people to make their journeys.
I need 2 buses to get to work. I work in Trafford Park. Now, you think it'd be so easy for me to get to work to Trafford Park because I'm not a million miles away. We don't have any buses that go from never mind Low Broughton, Salford. So I've got a choice, either I walk into Manchester or I get a taxi.
People are now calling on Andy Burnham to form new regulations as the cuts to routes across northern Manchester continue. This is causing increasing problems for bus passengers, who account for 80% of all public transport users in Manchester. The panel of guest speakers, including a bus driver and environmental campaigners, all agreed that drastic changes need to be made to encourage people to ditch their cars and use the buses in Manchester. Pascal Robinson led the evening's discussion and is encouraging members of the public to speak to their local councillors and be involved in where the money is really being spent.
Buses are about mobility, they're our way of accessing services, hospitals and our loved ones, and what we're seeing is the route is just becoming more and more of a skeleton until all you can literally do is get into the centre, maybe during rush hour times, if that, and it creates huge problems for people living in those areas. We have no control over fares, over routes, over ticketing, over timetables, and this means that bus companies only run routes to make a profit. They cherry pick the most profitable routes. They take public money to run the socially necessary routes, and the reality is that, especially with austerity, there's just not enough money to go around. It would work the same way it does in London, whereby there's an automatic daily cap on spend, which would be huge. You wouldn't have to plan ahead, you could just hop on the bus, and if it reaches the cap, then you're fine, you just carry on getting the bus.
Salford residents will need to wait until the end of the year for Andy Burnham to make his final decision about changes to our bus network. Rhys Parry, reporting for Salford Now.
The first week of February marks Children's Mental Health Week. Organisation Mood Swings offers drop-in sessions for people of all ages for advice and guidance on how to keep a healthy mind. Molly Kennedy reports.
This week is Children's Mental Health Week. Place to Be recorded that 56% of children said that they worry about something all of the time, whether it be school, family or social life. Services like mood swings and other voluntary and walk-in centres offer support for all ages to cope with mental health.
The main kind of line of service that we do is one-to-one support, so things like we do it in an emotional support format, so it's not formal counselling, which allows us to do a bit more really. We can give things like advice, opinions, set goals, provide practical support.
The Office of National Statistics reported that the number of teenage suicides in England and Wales has increased by 67%, and that 2 out of 5 Childline Service reports were about mental or emotional health. However, Mood Swings is providing a walk-in services for those who are in need of help.
Suicide's this big scary word where people think, oh my god, there's no getting back from this, but generally it's just a period of quite a few things going wrong at the same time, combined with a sensitivity to mental health problems. So if you can nip it in the bud sooner and kind of have that prevention approach rather than letting them get to that point, I think that's the way forward really.
Now in its 5th year, Children's Mental Health Week is being encouraged more than ever, and more charities and organisations are getting involved to help spread the word.
Still to come, many will be gathering in Salford Quays this evening for the 5k run. But let's not hope that this rain will dampen their spirits. Our reporter Daniel Gibson will update us later in the programme.
And Media City is becoming the first location to host the full trial of the updated mobile service 5G. It will give businesses, large and small alike, the chance to test their services with the new and improved mobile Wi-Fi network. Vodafone UK, the pioneering company behind the development, hope to begin rolling out 5G in selected areas by mid-2019. George Simister reports.
Salford is already one of the world's leading sites for television and radio output. Now, Media City is at the forefront of mobile internet technology, as it is the first place in the UK to be testing the next generation of mobile internet known as 5G. 5G will be something that all of us will notice, as it will allow us to stream, download and upload much quicker.
Right now, we're just in the process of bringing in Vodafone as a partner, which is really exciting because we're going to have the first 5G testbed in the UK. So any businesses, companies, large and small, that want to test products in a 5G environment, the landing is going to be the only place that they're able to do that.
One of the main benefits of 5G is the increase in download speed. If you were to download a full HD film on 3G, this would take around about a day. If you were to do this on 4G, this would take around 7 minutes. 5G offers to give us this in around 4 to 40 seconds. This is due to the increase in download speed being from around 50 megabits per second to around 1,000 megabits per second to 10,000 megabits per second.
If we look forward to something like autonomous vehicles, which will come at some point, all those vehicles don't just need to be able to navigate, but they need to talk to each other, which involves a huge amounts of data moving around. Those things can't happen without a 5G network.
5G is set to be rolled out in the UK in late 2019 or early 2020.
And that was George with our package of 5G. So what do you actually think about that?
I just find it hard to believe that technology can just keep getting better and better. You know, like every day things seem to be improving, and I just can't believe that there's more chances and more things to do with your phone, and it's just more connectivity all the time. It just amazes me every time.
I know, I feel like every time, you know, I update, something else will update after
definitely.
me. And then, you know, anyway. So now for all things sports. What's the latest, Dave?
Salford Red Devils play their first home game of the new Super League season on Sunday as they welcome London Broncos to the AJ Bell Stadium. Both sides come into this game off the back of impressive victories, and Salford will hope that the men who inspired their victory over Huddersfield on Friday, Niall Evalds and Ken Seo, can help overcome a Broncos side who beat Wakefield 42-24 for their first Super League victory since 2014. Elsewhere in Rugby League, former Salford owner Manwan Kukash hopes to form a new club based in Liverpool. Kukash says he has upcoming plans for a new stadium and hopes to get the team up and running by 2021. The FA Vars comes to Salford this week as Earlham FC hosts Surrey-based side Chertsey Town for a place in the quarter-finals. Michael Dodd's side enjoyed the sweet taste of victory last time out in the competition, beating Cadbury Athletic 4-0 at Silver Street. Victory for Earlham would then see them just 2 games away from a trip to Wembley for the final in May. Tonight, Salford Quays host the great local run 5K. Here's Daniel with the weather, how it's shaping up for tonight and the rest of the week.
The heavens opened above Salford today with heavy rain hitting the quays. But thankfully for the runners doing the 2k and 5k run this evening, the sunshine has come out a little bit and dried up the weather. Heading into the weekend, temperatures are set to rise to 11 degrees with some lows of 4 as well as occasional showers. Make sure to wrap up warm and take your umbrella if you're planning on going to see Salford Red Devils take on the London Broncos this Sunday.
I'll definitely be taking my umbrella out this evening.
As will I. Stay dry, guys. Have a great afternoon. That's all from us here at Salford Now.
And if you want to keep up to date, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Salford Now. Goodbye.